A plane races across the sky. It's traveling fast enough to outfly any missile, reaching speeds of over Mach 3. It's traveling so high it can reach the edge of space, and has a design that looks like it's out of a Star Wars movie. It can only be the SR-71 Blackbird. In the Cold War, the Soviet Union and the US were in constant fight with one another for both global control and influence, with each side trying to one-up one another by building a bigger and more powerful weapon. In the 1950s, the Soviet Union was building state-of-the-art weapons, including nuclear ones. This scared the Americans. The US wanted to know what was going on behind Soviet borders, as in any war, even a cold one, knowledge is power. However, getting into Soviet territory wouldn't be easy, as the USSR's border was very heavily fortified, having many radar stations and surface-to-air missiles. However, their range was limited, so if a plane could fly high enough, it would be out of range of both the missiles and their radar, practically making the plane invisible to the Soviets. So the Americans began development on a new spy plane. And in 1956, the US released the U-2 spy plane. While slow, the plane was able to reach extremely high altitudes, so high that it was believed the U-2 would be practically invisible to the Soviet radar. However, when the U-2 returned home, it was revealed that the Soviets had indeed tracked it since day one. The only reason it hadn't been shot down was simply because the Soviet Union's surface-to-air missiles could not fly high enough to shoot it down. And with the rapid increase of missile technology, it became clear that the U-2's days were numbered. Simply flying high was no longer a valid option. The US desperately needed a new spy plane. However, Lockheed would bring forth a design that was in many ways way ahead of its time. This new spy plane would be able to travel at speeds of over Mach 3, and would be able to travel even higher than the U-2. This new plane would be like nothing that was ever built before. Its new design also made it practically invisible to radar. Due to the round bodies of most airplanes, a radar signature is easily detected. However, the SR-71 Blackbird had a flat body, making it practically invisible, and the relay waves being bounced away from radar. Under the codename Archangel, Lockheed's new spy plane would begin test flights in Area 51. However, it would not be long till tragedy would strike. In the year of 1960, a U-2 spy plane was flying over the Soviet border, when a Soviet surface-to-air missile would collide with the aircraft, causing it to bring down and crash over Soviet territory. Both the plane and pilot would be captured and be paraded throughout Moscow, being shown as proof of Western aggression. This would dramatically increase tensions between the Soviet Union and the US. It was now time to reveal their new spy plane to the public. Given the name SR-71 Blackbird, the plane would fly right along the edge of Soviet territory. As soon as the Soviets were aware of this new spy plane, they scrambled to try and take one down. However, in the many years of service, the SR-71 Blackbird would never be shot down in service. The plane would also be used over Vietnam and North Korea. These planes were practically invincible. But as great as these planes seemed, they also had many drawbacks, such as it cost $300 million a year in the military's defense budget just to maintain these things. Part of the reason was due to just how fast the plane was. As it caused so much friction at Mach 3, the metal would literally soften. The plane would practically have to be welded back together after each mission. And with drones and spy satellites now coming out, many were beginning to question the purpose of having this plane around. By the late 1980s, it became clear the Blackbird's days were numbered. These legendary planes would remain in service all the way up until the year of 1998, when the last ones would finally be retired from NASA. Despite these legendary planes being over 60 years old, they still remain the fastest manned aircraft ever built. Today, many of these planes still remain preserved in museums across the country, allowing this plane to still intrigue us over 60 years later. Well, that's it for the SR-71 Blackbird. Please make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an update here on Brick Trooper. And feel free to comment your favorite plane in the comments below. Till then, I'll catch you in the next video.